Splatoon.
And now, for the grand finals, folks.
There's
a certain song that is playing in my head, Austy. It's by Dave Rogers. Was from that anime with cars. I think it's called Deja Vu. Because if you watch SuperJump 1, you know that this is not Jackpot's first time finishing third place. They got third place in the first edition of SuperJump. And our grand finals in the first edition of SuperJump was Starburst versus Kings. That time, for those of you who recall, it was Kings coming from the loser side of the bracket, getting a 4-2 victory over Starburst, and then a 4-0 victory over Starburst after that. It will now be Starburst who has a chance to turn the tables and write an incredible ending to their storied Splatoon 2 career. We are starting on Splat Zones and Shobi Games. We will have plenty of games to tell you folks about these incredible players, but for now, Austy, take it away.
Next time on Super Jump 2, we jump into Grand Finals 9. That's exactly what's going to happen here. We're going into it, Splat Zones itself. You already know we're going to be starting with that.
They're going to look right here immediately. Benza Ace here, going to be piloting this Kenta 52 probably for the entirety of this set. Running right forward and saying, hey, if you're going to give up this fan for nothing, I'll go ahead and take it here. Missiles and global specials fired off from both sides here. This so often happens at this level at the start of the game. One side will opt to build up a Stingray if they have it. The missiles will come out as well. The global specials come through, and both sides wait and see if their opponent is going to give them anything for free. Sometimes those missiles do connect. Sometimes one of these many suction bombs that gets chucked at zone finds somebody, and that is often what they build up off of at that point. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of this, a little poke forward there, hit a jab, go the other way, until finally one pick is had, and the 1v2s are able to start coming in here. It's going to be Starburst getting the first opportunity for a lockout, and look how quickly they've moved up.
Yeah, literally just going for that push immediately, trying to keep Kings from being able to get towards the center stage. I like that Biscuit's been playing a lot around these fans, by the way, just trying to keep the high ground for as much as possible. The higher you're up, the more space you can cover with your ink. Not only are you covering the zone, you're also covering a little bit of real estate to prevent your team from being able, the opponent's team, from being able to traverse the maps as fast as possible. Got a little bit of a flank action from Biscuit. He is brave, but they pop the armor.
Just in time, too. If Biscuit had crashed in tandem with Ice's Stingray, that might have been all three of those members of Kings going down. Instead, they're actually going to get a counter Stingray, and they were able to put at least a little bit of penalty here on Starburst, but that's really all they're going to get. Sheldon, I believe, got another pick from the backside of Terra there, so they're going to, again, continue to fight here over the center, and it's going to be hotly contested, but Starburst just a bit too quick thus far.
Yeah, literally Kings took that zone and immediately was taken back by Starburst. They got like a little small like slap on the wrist for their penalty there in terms of points. But now we're going back onto it. We got Shelton coming in with an Inkjet, always on the mark, trying to find a pick. Can he find it? Unfortunately, couldn't quite seal the deal. Applies a lot of damage in the process though, but now another Inkjet coming out. We got double Inkjets coming out all day, every day. Starburst coming up, getting a pit, losing one of their members. They're going to see if they can try to make this push towards the center. They managed to claim it right back.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what's so commonly referred to in this map is, oh my gosh, Pickle was pre-firing there, knew exactly where that was coming from. That doesn't happen too often. Usually if someone's pre-firing, you realize that they've gotten wise to your attack and you start to go back there, but Pickle probably very confused at why, hey, you weren't actually supposed to do that here. But right now, a lot of it has been a matter of both sides working around there until finally they got kind of caught up there figuring out who they wanted to fire at. I believe it was Shelton who was moving forward there, and then Benza Ace came around with this K-52. If you're dividing who you're firing at, it means one of them is eventually going to get close. And now look at this, they've taken the lead back, and if Benza Ace is able to safely use this Booyah Bomb, and does, they're going to have enough people up here to at least make sure that a special's not going to hit the zone. The Stingray is going to hit and try to attack somebody, but that thing can't paint.
No, literally not at all. Bagel's just trying to get in there, following the Stingray a little bit, trying to have like a little bit of a safe passage as Starburst is going to try to get back to the center stage. They're running out of time here, 9. There's only 10 points left on the count. Can Bagel find his way to get over there, going to go for a splat? They have to charge it. They managed to take it with only 4 points remaining. At this point, they got to take it to close.
Oh, thank goodness. They finally did get it there again. I thought Starburst was going to not tap it back and be able to do that. We saw that in the earlier game against Jackpot. Did not come back to bite them, and they have wisened up. Instead, once again, they're going to be able to take the zone, but immediately Biscuit has to run away, and look at this. Again, it's Benza Ace and Clicks chasing down Biscuit. Biscuit actually was able to jump back there and still got taken out. They are taking no prisoners, this Kings.
Literally just purple ink, the color of royalty just all over here as Japan is coming in clutch. Just pick up yet again coming out from Kings. They're just going to continue to just lock out Starburst, being able to get towards the center screen. We got specials on deck here to try to make them with the push. A retaliation with a Booyah Bomb to counteract it. Let's see how much we're going to be able to go here in this widescreen view. No one's been picked off just yet. They're trying to paint. They're trying to do it safely. Stingrays from both sides. Pick for Starburst. That's going to be huge. Gets a 4v3, 4v2. Bagel's trying to go back in there, trying to finish off this last pick. Terra's over in the corner trying to hide. He manages to get away with the SuperJump. Going to be able to hold on to their special meter while Starburst just tries to paint up a little bit as they prepare for their next defense.
And that's a great call here, because with just 30 seconds left, that ink armor could end up being one of the crucial pieces that allows them to push back in. Biscuit is in a great position to attack somebody if they jump out, but keep an eye on the top of the screen. All 4 specials are going to be up very, very shortly from Kings, and we'll see where it comes. Everything, lots of sound effects coming through, but none of the members of Kings have gotten close to the zone yet. The Stingray was able to find one here with just a few seconds left. I'm not sure what's going to end earlier, the game or the timer. Goes down further and further. Terra, Clicks, and Shelton, the last ones in the zone. They're going to paint. Bagel's going to try his hardest to keep it going here, but one cannot outpaint two. And despite their best efforts at the end, one person going down to Shelton Stingray was all that Kings needed to come back in, recap the zone, and take game 1 of this grand finals.
Such a close ending, man. Literally, they were just right on top of the end at the center there, but all it takes was one pick to manage to change it all. That 4v3 turned into a 3v2, turned into a 2v1, and then, you know, I've taken math class before, man. I know how it's going to end. They're not going to be able to reclaim that zone. And Kings is able to take that, move on to another game, and that's pretty much Splat zones in a nutshell, right? Nine, literally, you go back, you build your meter, you go in for the push, and you try to, like, push their defense, and you just kind of go back and forth like a rubber band.
Well, especially when both teams have opted to build a really similar tin comp, right? We saw 9 Stingrays coming out that time from Shelton. On the other side, Ice had 6. And when both teams end up going with such a similar composition, it is kind of like you said, a rubber band where both teams have the same size of rubber band. Now, there was a slight difference there. Biscuit had the burst, or suction bomb rush rather, and that did allow them to take back the zone in some precarious positions, but again, they didn't really seem to be able to divide and conquer in the ways that you would expect, and a lot of that credit does go to Kings, being able to keep them guessing where the attacks are coming from. And you see, I mean, take a look at that meter there on the right, folks. Specials used per minute. If you want to see top-level Splatoon, that's what it looks like. Everybody getting almost 1 special every minute, at least.
Yep. If top-level Splatoon looks like the graph on the left, then I don't want it, 9. Look at that. No booyahs whatsoever from Starburst. Here we got 1 from Ice. Just a 1. I know they don't got a booyah bomb, but, you know, maybe you got to get that. You got to get those booyahs in, man. I want to see the booyahs per minute. That's the type of graph I want to see. Those are the stats I'm looking for.
I'm actually kind of impressed that Ice still managed to get a couple out here. But we have Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy here as our counter pick, as the teams are going to get started into this as well. Now this, again, a very, very common counter pick for Starburst. We talked ad nauseum about what they look like on Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park, but this is the other pick that they go to very often, and you can see exactly why. Biscuit has switched back over to the Kensa 52 gallon. Those of you who know me know that I am a huge Biscuit fan. Press B for Biscuit, folks, in the chat, but this kid, when he plays this weapon, man, there are times where he looks like the best player in the entire world with what he is able to create and how he's able to dig himself out of bad situations and completely turn things around. We'll see. He's already gone down, of course. Commentator's curse, that's exactly how it goes. But again, once you take the plat from the opponent here, so often there come opportunities to make that magic happen, and we'll see which team is able to access that first.
Now, speaking of 52, Kensa 52, man, we saw Benzo a little bit there. Going to be able to go jump onto that tower, trying to pick off Brand. Not going to be able to solve the dice, but that's okay. Going to jump right back into it. King's off to a pretty good start so far. Already has 74 points, but it's going to go reset right back to neutral. So, not the strongest of leads. Probably not going to be able to decide the future of this. We're going to keep going for the trades. 3v1 right now. Got some specials. Literally, this is going to be it. Shelton just trying to survive, manages to escape and hold on to that meter for another rainy day.
Yep, here it goes, already firing. I mean, you knew that it was coming out almost immediately. Interestingly, there's not going to be a lot of follow-up here, so that was one of those stalling Stingrays where you use it to just let your team get up, but in the process, however, not getting anybody with that meant that Ice was going to be able to choose when to use his Ray, and that is going to end up being huge here, because look at this, they used that advantage to push everybody up, and thankfully Clicks was able to get at least 1 pick to slow it down, and Benza Ace should be able to do the same there with that Booyah Bomb, so this could be a lot worse than it already is, and it's already still looking pretty gnarly.
Yeah, literally, Clicks just trying to survive, wait for his teammates to come back in to get some more painting. Another Booyah Bomb, another Stingray. No one knows that he's there right now. Waiting for the prime opportunity to jump in, waiting for the teammates. Gets in there, sneaks a kill on Bagel, stops the tower in its tracks. The team understands that Clicks is right there, throws a bomb to force him to reposition. But what a snipe coming out from Clicks.
Yeah, needed to there. And I mean, everyone says that Sharking doesn't work at a high level here, but sometimes it does, and that has thrown the entire push from Starburst into disarray here. Thankfully, Biscuit was able to escape with his life, was in a pretty precarious position, and now they're all going to get pushed all the way back, and Biscuit will finally be taken down by these global specials, but that was an extended push. They're already halfway through this game almost, Austy.
Literally, like they went all the way to 56. If they didn't get that shark, it might have gone even worse for them. So like again, it literally just stopped it dead in its tracks. We're gonna keep moving on though. Terra right here got a Booyah Bomb for the push, gonna help cover the tower defense to be able to push a little bit more forward here. 67. It's getting closer and closer to evening up this score. They gotta get a pick. There's one. Gonna be able to go for a 4v3 right now. Benson's running away with it. Gets a pick on Biscuit from up high. Fighting from down below, evening up the score, and in fact, going to get their fourth member to come back into the fray. Jumps back in. There's Shelton on the tower. Everyone's trying to push as much as possible, but now they lose yet another member. Starburst coming in, trying to get the Ink Jet out there, just trying to force the opponents to get away from that tower. Besky Click's going to be able to survive. Look at him run away.
Run away, but they didn't get the zone that entire time. I was waiting for when Shelton was going to use the Stingray there. Never got the opportunity to use it in the best spot because Ice's Stingray forced them out that entire time. A high-level exchange of offense and defense here, with both teams being unwilling to let more than one of their members go down at a time. Finally, we have an opportunity where both teams are going to be using their Booyah Bomb at the exact same time with missiles coming out. You see that nobody has gone down yet. It will be Shelton who uses the Stingray first. You know that Ice is going to be coming here shortly. Biscuit gets one in an exchange. 1v3. Biscuit's able to hold it off and take out Benza Ace. That is going to immediately take the Fangs out of this attack. Ice is going to use the Stingray for good measure. But once again, Biscuit coming up huge on this map. And now it's time for Starburst to swarm.
Oh my goodness, double coming out from Brand. They got a 4v1 right now, taking away all of their meter from them. Speaking of meter, by the way, look at the top left. They got so many specials ready to go here. They got that Booyah Bomb. Got some Stingray action coming for you. Might get some Ink Armor, just help out with the push. Why not? Throw all three of those specials to just pretty much secure this victory. They're hunting them down like flies, targeting one by one, dude. They're hunting. They are on it.
And that's the checkpoint that's the difficult one to get past, right? At this point here, Bagel's probably just going to opt to back up here. If they get a jump in, they might continue to make this push, but it's going to be a lot of this. Pesky, throw a bomb here. Yep. Fire it a little bit, and they actually got Shelton with that bomb, too. That's huge. Again, just 30 seconds left. That's going to mean that it's probably only one Stingray from Shelton that they'll have to worry about at this point. I don't think there's going to be time to build two unless there's a really, really long push here. And now take a look at the top of the map. Click saying this way here, hiding over there. Terra's going to get taken down by Ice. That's going to be huge because now look at this. Benza, Ace, and Clicks have to move back. This is going to fire the missiles and try to get back in position, but that pick might end up being the difference here. Everything is falling out of whack as a result.
Bagel's going to throw out that armor, gets picked in the process here. 4v3, one last push for Kings. They're going to try to push as Terra's just holding on for as much as they can. They got meter to spend as well. Booyah Bomb coming out. Got some missiles coming out, but it literally all they need is for Starburst to throw those specials right on the tower. Prevent them from getting off there, but hold on, they don't have anyone on the base. They can't get over there. Bagel's trying his hardest, but he actually can't get onto that tower, and he finally does.
It was Ice that came through the Ink Armor, and the Burst Bomb was enough to knock the members off there. They weren't able to get Bagel cleanly enough, but in that long firefight, even though Ice's Stingray wasn't able to clean off the tower, the Burst Bomb that hit off of the Ink Armor was enough. And I mean, talk about awareness and understanding there. I mean, Ice was heading in the direction of the tower regardless, don't get me wrong. But the presence until the Burst Bomb right then, knock everybody off the tower and just say, cool, nobody's here. Let's end it. Let's do this. And that could have gone very, very poorly because the Booyah Bomb was gone, the Stingray was gone, and the jumps were going to be favoring Kings if that had gone into a longer push situation. But so many what-ifs in this game. That's just how it goes.
Again, just going down to those split-second decisions, man, just to finish off that ending. They had the lead. They just needed to jump on that tower, and they found the way with the helpfulness of the armor, man. Woo! You know, when they talk about objective-based players, man, there's no one better than Bagel in the business, dude. He's got over 35 seconds spent on that tower. He was holding on to that tower for as long as possible.
Well, and I mean, take a look at this. Finally, the Booyah is coming out here, and unsurprisingly here, almost looking as if people are pointing forward there, Benza, Ace, and Biscuit, the two people who wield the Booyah bomb, will of course be the ones that are mashing it forward here. So we finally did get the Booyahs. Thank you to the production team for being able to pull those stats up on a whim. But okay, both teams taking a game here. This is already looking much better than the last time these two teams played, where in the second set of grand finals, it was a 4-0. Starburst wasn't able to get a single game. We will be moving into tower control on Manta Maria now. This is a new roster for Starburst here. They want to prove that they can take out anybody in the world, and so far they have been up to the task.
Yes, sir. Tower control. I mean, like you said, we're doing it right back. This is King's counter pick. Going on in that pirate ship. This will be a huge boon for Starburst to be able to take the set. Because remember, guys, in this best 3 of 5, if Starburst takes this, like, it's going to reset the bracket and they have to play yet another one. So imagine having to take 2 sets from Kings in a row, especially after getting second place at the last Super Jump. So much is on the line.
It's not an easy ask, that's for sure. We're going to see immediately 2 members from Kings being taken down. You talk about momentum from that last game here. Brand's barely going to have anybody to even shoot these at. It's just going to be Terra who's going to run all the way back here, ceding all of this ground to Bran, and I don't think they recognize Bran is up here. Now they'll certainly be aware, but Bran has the better position here, needs to call out. Someone needs to assist Terra, but nobody is. They're all over on the right side of the map. Benta is taking a big, maybe even dangerous fight against Biscuit here. That's going to be a delayed 1v2, and look at that. Biscuit's able to get it. Shelton did respawn in time to at least mitigate the damage here, and again, I know I've been using this phrase so often, but that could have ended up so much worse.
Dude, Starburst literally had, like, they separated it. They did a divide and conquer strat, and it still just didn't work out for them. They even, like, got them, like, across from them. Just got the Stingrays coming out, and now we're jumping in. This is now King's time to push. They're on the tower, gonna get picked off by Ice. Good pick coming out from Benz. They're going to put up some walls just to prevent people from being able to go down there. Holding on to his position, trying to like just paint a little bit, build up that little bit of meter. We got 2 specials coming out. Booyah Bomb and Ink Armor coming in hot. That means it's time to go. Hold forward. Unfortunately, gets called out by Biscuit upon landing. And they got Tenta Missiles of Booyah Bomb of their own. Specials coming out left and right. We got armor coming out. Let's see what the push is going to be.
Yep, you saw that they had put a lot of pressure on that left side, knowing that that's where 2 members were after they moved up and took out Ice there. All the while, though, Biscuit was able to respawn and at least slow it down here. I know they've lost the lead, but again, they're in a decent spot to try to defend this here. They're going to go chase after Shelton and push him back, and they actually were able to get another member in the process. It was not Shelton, so they're going to at least still have control of the high ground here, but Clix is not the one they want riding tower. Clix going to move up and find another pick on Biscuit, who I didn't even know was there. Meanwhile, Ice's Stingray trying to slow down the tower as it is, but once again, another member of Kings is going to be here in the back ranks, almost posing for the camera here is Clix, who will now jump back into the action. But you can see once again the game plan. They want to control that left side and then send 1 member at a time to attack this right.
Man, you felt like Klitz wasn't painting there in the beginning because he wanted to hide his position, right? Because they didn't know where he was. Goes for the jump. That's going to be 2 splats going down for Starburst. King's holding on to there. Gets a pick on Bran. Can Balance get one more pick with the 2v1. Can they get it? They finally managed to do. That's going to be pretty much a team wipe. Tower control is being pushed further and further as we approach the final checkpoint of the map. Yeah, I mean, this is like the hard time, right? This is hard for Starburst to be able to try to like bring this back at this point, dude. 16 points, 15 points. They're going to break that checkpoint, man. They made it past. It's only a matter of time at this point.
I was going to say, forget bring it back. They got to find a way to stop it here. And at this point, they're just throwing people at the tower to try, but there's nothing that can be done. Shelton on that Rapid Blaster Pro Deco, being able to run around on the grates, apply chip damage. Everyone's throwing bombs up there anyway. There's missiles up there. We know how it goes, but there's just no way to contest it. That weapon has a wall, and was able to farm there at the end. Once they got to that third checkpoint, rather, again, like you said, you could pretty well see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, look, it's always a bummer when you're dealing with your opponents that are on the 3rd checkpoint. You know, like, it's just like, man, we haven't reached the 1st. Like, what are we doing? And then you get stuck there, and then you're just kind of contemplating, like, okay, what are we counterpicking for the next map? You know, like, sometimes you just kind of feel the tide's turning.
Whew. Speaking of the tides turning here, we were given all the praise to Starburst for their incredible victory in that last game. And, you know, it was a little scary at the end, but, you know, they held on to it. A good, solid win. Well, Kings took him back to tower control and said, nah, this is how you win on tower control, friend. This is what it looks like. And, I mean, look at that. 15 seconds for time tower held. 15 seconds.
It was pretty much all bagel.
That's unbelievable for a team of this caliber to just functionally not get to touch the tower for any extended period. And that was off the opening. That was off of Ice's really early Stingray that got them the advantage that they needed. But Kings held firm, were able to kind of thrust aside that attack. And there you go. Terra rides it the rest of the way. They keep sneaking people to the backside, and they forced the members of Starburst over to defend from their left side. I suppose it would be Starburst's right side, but if you're pushing it's the left side, that's not easy to do. They had the right members there to keep them in that spot. And again, we could talk about that game all day, but we're moving on to Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track next. And Austy, well, surprise, surprise, we've gone to Rainmaker for Starburst's counter pick.
Who would have thought? Can you imagine a world where they don't go for this counter pick, especially when their backs are against the wall here in a 2-1 score? This could potentially be the final map of the tournament, and they would get yet another second place at a super jump. One of them going to be the final super jump for Splatoon 2, mind you. So, you know, there's a lot on the line here. They don't want to end it just yet, so they're pulling out their secret card up their sleeve, man. They're going to throw it right there on the table. They're going to get ready as we're going to go for this push yet again. Let's get it.
And truly, it really is everything they've got. Biscuit has gone back to that Splash-O-Matic. We talked about it. Toxic Mist being used at top level and farming Inkjet after Inkjet. It's what they're going to go for. But already, Ice is taken out. I don't know if Shelton just headhunted Ice there at the start, but already gone here. Benza Ace is moving forward already. Biscuit has to use this Inkjet just to keep the game alive. Terra's going to move forward. Clix has an Inkjet as well. And finally, Ice's Stingray is going to be there to finish the job. I think that push was done even before the Stingray came out. But that's why you pick that weapon to build an Inkjet that quickly. It's going to build it faster than anything else. And if Biscuit didn't have it there, the game, I'm not kidding, might have ended immediately.
Hey, can you imagine the tournament ending on that type of note where, like, Kings just, like, completely, no, we're pushing forward, bye, we got the picks, we're going forward. But now, all of a sudden, Starburst has himself a slight lead here, trying to pave the way for Bagel to make this push. Going to be slowed down by the sub-weapon, and it's going to be a big push for Starburst, by the way. 31 points remaining, but that doesn't mean too much right now because there is still 4 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, I mean, both sides have already gone for a big hit, and both times Biscuit's Inkjet was what started the push or ended the push on the defensive side. So Terra's going to grab this, and this is a really rough spot, especially now that Benza Ace is down here, and I'm not really sure what Terra's going to be able to do with this. Might even have to simply run it forward here to try to make it less. Yeah, Terra's completely alone, and this is actually dangerous here. There's enough people here to get a pop here. I'm sorry, the pedestal's right there. If Bagel grabs this here, they're going to at least be able to extend their score. They might be able to knock this out here. Nobody there. Finally, they jump in and get it to 8, but the threat still isn't gone. There's more members of Starburst up. It's 3 against 1. Benza Ace gonna try to get whoever grabs the Rainmaker. They're all firing there, and Bran will be the one to grab it. And what an emphatic response there again. I would like to see into the rationale of Kings there when they grabbed that Rainmaker, what Terra was thinking. Leaving it in that spot in particular is such a tricky spot to be. I know you don't anticipate being the last one up, but all the while, take a look at it. Biscuit with 3 Inkjets and 10, count them, 10 splats and assists to send us to Game 5.
Starburst manages to find their way out of their corner and their backs against the wall, man. Game 5, like you said, we're jumping into it. Such a fast game, and that's exactly the type of gameplay we're going to be seeing from Starburst whenever Rainmaker's on deck, right? Any of those maps. You got the skateboard park, you got the pump track, either one. Both of them can end in just a second. They're such, like, small, claustrophobic maps, you know? So, like, it's like a pendulum that can swing any way. And mind you, at the very beginning of that map, Kings could have ended the entire tournament. Like, it was very close to that moment happening.
Yeah, a lot that had to be done right. And again, you know, Biscuit's Inkjet being just enough to alleviate some of that pressure and let the other members come in to slow that down there. I mean, you know, Biscuit can fight with the best of them with any weapon. It's so incredibly skilled all the way through there. But what I've always been amazed by is his understanding of, okay, I need my special. My special is really strong. I'm just going to build it. I'm going to jump back. I'm going to build it and do what's necessary. And that's not something that you often see with players who are playing frontline Inkjet weapons. So often it's so tempting to go fight, to headhunt, and try to, you know, make the big highlight play. But sometimes you make the highlight play on defense, and then you get to make highlight play on offense and top the leaderboard. So great awareness. Folks, we are going to Clam Blitz Piranha Pit for our
Again?
Game 5. Can't believe we're seeing multiple top-level sets be decided by Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit. Starburst looked, well, first Jackpot looked untouchable on this. Then they ran into Starburst. Then Starburst looked untouchable on this. Are we going to see that once again go? Will the mantle of King of Clam, Blitz, Piranha Pits go athlete to Kings? I mean, I'm stunned, frankly.
Not only will the crown go to potentially Kings because it's their counter pick on this map, the crown for the tournament will also go their way. But man, I just can't stop staring at those booyahs. 9. Not a single booyah was used. Are you kidding me? What is this?
It's a quick game, Austy. It's a quick game. That's why.
You can't start the game with the booyah. You can't just be like a little bit of a, hey guys, let's start this game. Booyah, booyah. You know, like that's the customary thing you do. Do you booyah when you start your games, 9? Be honest.
Well, I mean, what I'm doing at the start of my game isn't important because a more important game is starting here. Kings versus Starburst. Everybody get hyped in the chat. Potentially the final game of this tournament if Kings wins it. If Starburst gets this victory, we reset the bracket and they continue their revenge tour. Taking a look at both of the teams, outrageously similar comps. Really the only difference being the variety of jet squelcher that's being brought up. Ice sticking with that Stingray, Sheldon opting to go with the Tenta missiles.
All right, here we go. You guys seen it once, you've seen it again. We got clams all over the place. Gotta try to pick them up as much as possible. Ice is gonna be able to use those, literally these rays are so good on this map because it is just one narrow hallway in the middle of that map. You can just spam that nonsense and it forces everyone to get away from the center where a majority of the clams are.
And already that center will go in favor of Kings here. They were able to get a couple down at the start there. Thankfully, the members of Starburst very wisely moved back a little bit. Ice throwing many burst bombs to try to at least slow it down. But look at this, Clix has gotten behind, and following up here is Benza Ace. Needs to find it, but incredible evasive play there by Biscuit. Benza Ace is gonna jump out here, but that was all predicated on the follow-up from Benza Ace being able to take out anybody that Clix wasn't able to. Biscuit being able to hold on that stop could have been a devastating push.
Dude, that was actually a fantastic escape from Benz. Like, the second he realized he wasn't getting that pick, he was just getting out of dodge. He didn't even want to mess with that special. Here we go. We got missiles coming up, readying up from Brand. Gonna try to make this push. No picks yet on the board. We're just trying to collect those clams and try to figure out this way of who's going to make that first push. We got armor coming up for, it's going to be Kings. Getting on the right side. Green team over here. Bagel. Oh, no.
Oh, it goes so poorly so quickly. You can see them spamming this way. There's 20 clams that they have. Sheldon going to be the one carrying the power clam. Is going to get an escort, but no, it's not going to be enough. Ice on that custom jet squelcher is going to be able to take out one of the members. They are going to get both of their power clams in and a couple more points here as well. But not having Shelton is going to take the bite out of that push here. Benzace is going to jump back. Shelton coming out of spawn here. It does appear that they are content with that early push. Clicks fighting to the bitter end. Back on that side, and it's going to be again still mid-control for the members of Kings. But again, it seemed like an even game. Then suddenly 3 members of Starburst go down.
Yeah, literally just all at the exact same time. And the second they realized what was going on, they went for the push. Speaking of, that's going to be one pick for Team Starburst. They're going to try to figure out this way of how they're going to go in there. Here comes the offensive push. Booyah bomb on deck. Another ink armor to help with the defensive side of things. Got some jumps coming in. Brand's going to try to clean up. Fantastic trade in the heat of the moment, because it's going to be a bunch of clams dropping down right behind the camp. They're going to keep scoring again and again. They take the lead. 1 point away. Biscuit's over here trying to just kind of hide a little bit, wait for a clam to spawn. Maybe he can get one more thing in. Uses himself as a beacon for people to jump back in. Bagel trying to get the spot up top. Unfortunately, he has the low ground, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. They're still going to keep trying to push here. 33 points remaining. Going to be able to back off finally and takes a pretty hefty lead here with a 21-point difference.
Yeah, an incredible push there. They just barely at the very last second were able to sneak in that very final power clam there to turn what was a 1-point lead into a much bigger lead there. You see, they still are opting not to pick up their pity clam. They're trying to work in as well. Ice's Stingray again coming in and being able to take out Shelton means that it's going to be a much less threatening push. And meanwhile, Brand and Bagel going to run over and say, nah, not even a not less threatening push. This is just the end of your push. Sorry, as they once again take control of the map. And again, Shelton and Ice dancing with each other on the side here. Both of the K-52s are gone. And now Shelton opting to go here, has the missiles, can go back and fire them, but no, Shelton wants to scrap too.
There he finally ends up going for pulls the trigger on the missiles right in point blank, so he actually kind of follow up with the missiles as well. Goes over to try to assist Click with the splat, as you see Kings trying to make their way toward the eastward as they're going to try to make their way towards the goalpost. But unfortunately, they don't have enough clams to do anything just yet. They got to make that power clam still. Here come the push. Here come the clams. Clicks is sitting at that power number, the 9. That is the fated number you want to hide, is you can be able to like hide where your positioning is, manage to make the power clam. Klick's position is now invisible towards the opponent's team. Let's see if he's gonna be able to try to make anything going here. He's starting to back up little by little. No picks on either side. Got super meters, 2 on Kings and 2 on them. Looks like it's going to be Starburst pulling that first trigger. Booyah, Bomb Biscuit tossing it in. Armor could probably be the follow-up here if he's going to be able to pull the trigger on that. Yep, there it is. With the misses as well, busting out all 3 of those specials. Same thing for the enemy team. Ice going for the Stingray, trying to ban as much as possible. Finally, one person's going to be going down on Starburst's side. Kings going for a big punch. This is massive!
Klick's got everybody there that entire time. They were jockeying for position, waiting for one member to go down, and finally, Ice goes for the Stingray. The missiles slow down the Stingray, and Klick's run forward. I don't know if Klick's got all 4 of them. May as well have them enough. Clam stand it. 1, 2, and Kings will be your Super Jump 2 champion. An incredible counter push at the very end of Piranha Pit, Clam Blitz, and Austy. The story, it's the same. I've read another book and it's the same ending.
Man, I hate these time travel stories, man, when they just go back into the past and history repeats itself, man. King's coming up, winning Super Jump 1, winning Super Jump 2, coming all the way big up from Japan, coming in, dominating, and taking home a hefty amount of money, mind you. That's $1,641. Part of that big chunk of that pot's going towards their team. So congratulations to Kings, Benza, Terra, Shelton, and Clicks.
And so much time spent in that last minute of the game. You saw both teams push forward just a little bit. I'll give up mid, you give up mid here, waiting to see which team is going to make the first error when all the specials come through. And again, the timing of when Ice's Stingray was in relation to that set of Tenta missiles meant that he was not going to be able to fire it at the opponents that he wanted to. In the process, it gave up so much space, the threat was gone, and Clicks ran face first. And again, I don't know how many of those were just outright wins by Clicks, but it seemed like Clicks had a hand in every one of those picks at the very end of that game. But what an incredible showing again by Starburst here. Starburst might be the most exciting team that I've seen come out of North America. And I mean that as no disrespect to any of the teams that have come before, but they always have these moments against strong Japanese teams where they look like they're in a class of their own. And it's so difficult to win these sets, y'all. I know most of you in chat have probably played this game and maybe even entered a tournament or two, but it's so difficult to keep up this level of play over time. The opponent is adapting to you, you're trying to adapt to them. And sometimes it just breaks at the very end. And you hate for it to end like that if you're Starburst, a game that you had the lead and you had outpaced them. But again, nothing to be ashamed of. There will be more tournaments to be played. Maybe not in this game, but the story of Starburst is not yet done.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what they're going to bring over to Splat 3. But mind you, there's still 2 more lands coming up for Splat 2. There's still 2 more. We got Shine around the corner. We got not Big House, I'm sorry. We've got a Riptide coming up. Then Big House is the first Splat 3 tournament we got coming up. So there's still a couple more things for Splat 2 to just kind of witness and see what's going to happen. But guys, I think that's going to be it for us right now. It's been a pleasure jumping on the mic here with you, Nine. Like, I love IPL. Great team over here, Inkfarer over here trying to just do some great tech work here in the background. Guys, these tournaments would not be happening without the dedicated supported team that you see from IPL. So please give it up, give some claps up. I want to see some hands in the chat for IPL Splatoon for putting on such a great show to give us such fantastic action for today.
And if I may stand on my soapbox for just a moment here, folks, IPL has grown more than just Super Jump, more than just the other tournaments they've run. They have grown over time, hand over hand, brick by brick, into a true powerhouse of an organization, of a production team, out of the goodness of their hearts, because they love it, because they love the community here. They've pushed so far in the world of production. These statistics, these wonderful motion graphics, which is just an unbelievable concept that I still don't believe is real. And it's so difficult. And again, they do it because they love what they do and they love the community. Whatever thanks you are giving them, it's not enough. So please continue to support what they do here in IPL. I'm not wearing a hat, but if I was, I would be tipping it to you right now. Seeing what you've grown into over these years is unbelievable. Thank you so much to IPL, and Folks, I believe there's a credits roll, so thank you once again, everybody, for joining us in Super Jump 2, powered by Inkling Performance Labs.